Good morning. Daily download number 3. This is Carmel. Being and becoming .life is my website. I didn't really want to do a download today, which is quite my usual MO, to go, oh yeah, I don't really want to do that anymore and move on to something else. But I put it all out here and told you all I was going to do it, so here I am thinking I better do it. And I seem to be getting good responses from it and encouragement to carry on. So the reason I didn't want to do it today is because at midnight last night I got on the phone to Apple because my Apple ID wasn't working here in New Zealand. I had to pay from my New Zealand account to my American-based Apple ID. And that's becoming a problem when it won't pay for the likes of my cloud storage and what have you. So I thought, that won't take long, I'll just sort it out. Well, I got off the phone by about 3 a.m. without the problem resolved, and I'm still working on it at 11 a.m. now, today. So I thought, oh, fuck it, I don't want to do it, I'm too tired. So apologies if this is a little bit of a ramble. But what did come to me as interesting about it is often I get really, really shitty when stuff like that's happening, and I get grumpy at the people on the phone, and I start to get all annoyed at the people who work on there, how they don't know what they're talking about, and I get annoyed at the world and why we have to have all this shit that is just like one Apple ID to do one of everything, and how the world doesn't work, and the world doesn't work because of all of the fucked up things that are going on the planet, and I can go into quite a big thing about it. And I didn't go into a thing. I just didn't go there. I felt into the first woman who was trying to help me, and I could feel her love, and I could feel her need to try and help. And so I was like, okay, I'll run with this. And I was struggling to understand her because her accent's different to mine, and I just reminded myself that a lot of people struggle to understand me and my accent. And so I just dropped into my heart, into the purity of love, and I thought, okay. And then there's this little voice in my head that's saying, you're deluded if you think love's gonna fix this shit. And so I carried on and just kept dropping the purity of love, and finally this dear woman on the phone said to me, I'm just gonna get some help. And I'm like, okay, cool. And this Irish guy comes on the phone, and I can understand him a whole lot better. The Irish accent for me, for some reason, has always been relatively easy to understand. And which isn't always the case for a lot of people, so it was kind of cool. And he was like, don't worry, it's only going to take us a minute to figure this one out. I won't try an Irish accent. And he said, just go do this and this, and then once we know what it is, we'll all be unfolding around now. I was like, all right, great. So an hour later, he's telling me I've got to obviously update my computer, what have you. And this morning I've updated it and it's still not resolved the problem. My point is that I could feel the effort of humanity trying to work inside a system that's broken. I could feel the effort of humanity trying to work inside a system that's actually not broken because it's never really worked in the first place. So broken's not quite the right word. They're struggling to work inside the system that they've got that, probably works for the cream of the top of the rungs of humanity, but it doesn't really work for the bulk of us, it just doesn't work. And so as I'm sort of finding my way through this, I'm feeling into the various layers and ways of viewing the world, and it's all quite potent and rich for me right now, as I was talking about yesterday's download about the protests that are happening in Wellington here in New Zealand, but that are also happening in Ottawa in Canada and all sorts of countries around the planet. There's just a lot going on. We're all fighting and protesting and speaking up for our rights and our freedoms, and we're speaking up for what we've never really had, so we don't really know how to communicate it, and we don't really know what is, like, we think we've been free, but we've been so conditioned and programmed to see freedom and power as such a small little thing. I was speaking with a dear sister who was saying, it's like I'm trying to keep my sunshine in put my sunshine in a box. And we came to the realization that she's not actually trying to put her sunshine in a box. She's trying to free her sunshine from the box it's been in, and she's meeting up against resistance to do that. And this is the kind of places my head goes when I get stuck on the phone with Apple tech support. And I'm on hold listening to the music that they're putting in my ears that are really obnoxious for my ears and my brain. It's tinny sound, it's not a good quality sound, and that might be my phone's fault, but you'd think Apple could come up with something really quite beautiful to listen to with all the technology that they've got. And it reminded me of how the government of New Zealand tried to play psychological warfare basically through the protesters in Wellington by playing second grade recorder. If anyone played the recorder in second grade, which every Kiwi pretty much did, at least when I was going through school, you know how shrilling and obnoxiously abusive it can be to the brain, and it can set you into a resonance of I'm not safe to be here, I don't belong, I'm not okay, I'm not safe, basically. And when we're feeling like that, our anxieties rise. And when our anxieties rise, we start to think there's something wrong, even if there's not something wrong. The nervous system's triggering, going, you need to be on alert, you need to be hypervigilant at this point in time. And that can have us want to, not want to, but just automatically knee-jerk start to react from a place of fear. That means we're not thinking clearly. And if we're not thinking clearly, then we're starting to really, be obnoxious ourselves, and we can be abusive ourselves, and we can start to yell out, and we can start to just lose our filters that keep us in check. And when we're not kept in check, then we are judged externally from others as someone and something in the planet, in humanity, that is not towing the line and fitting in and doing what we're supposed to do to maintain the social order that has been constructed inside this this situation that just doesn't work. So it's not that it's not broken, it's just that it's never fucking worked. And so now we're in this time where we're like going, okay, so how do we fix this? Well, there's no fixing it. Well, all we can do at this point is create new structures and build new patterns and new pathways forward. And if we keep focusing on what's broken, which kudos to the protesters, I'm there, like, yeah, we've got to do that on some level. And at another level, what we really need to do as well is anchor in the light, anchor in the light, anchor in the light, because we're purification spaces ourselves. And what we're doing inside of ourselves is, when we anchor the light, is holding down the frequencies that allow the change to happen, that allow the new structures to emerge, that allow us to really stand up for the pureness of the power that we truly are. So my Apple situation's not fixed yet, but I'm feeling really, even though my physical body is tired, I can feel the frequencies that are available for us at this time. And my invitation to you is to focus on what it is you're calling forth, what it is you're building, what are the structures that you're implementing into your life at this time that make you feel really healthy and happy and invigorated and alive and uplifted, expansive. What are the structures that you're pulling into place in your world? You know, for me, just cleaning the window the other day in this new house I've moved into, I couldn't see out, and every morning I opened my curtains and it was just dirty, like the previous owners had not cleaned the windows, and that one in particular was really dirty. I was like, I've got to deal with this right now. So I can see clearly in the morning when I open up the window and go, yeah, this is the day I'm looking out on. So what small little thing can you do to just clean the lens of your perception that you're viewing the world through? I'm Carmel. If you go to www.beingandbecoming.life, you'll find more of what I'm up to. Tarot readings and conscious conversations are the main springboard that I'm using at this time, along with birthing, hypnosis, and other sovereign solutions. So check it out. So much love to you. No one's told you today yet. I love you.